And now this is the second part of the shifter rebuild. This will be the 3-speed STX MC30. So let's begin. Underneath we're going to remove this plastic cover and the bolt. This will be a number 10 and there's a Phillips screw right here. Here you have a bolt to remove. It's a number 10 again, and you'll be removing that clockwise. You can now remove the tip of that spring and we can lift off this plate. Here there's a bushing and the lever with the pull. Underneath that lever there's a nylon bushing that we can remove. There's a circlip right here. Take off the pull and the spring. Let's lift out the mech now from the body, and there's a seal underneath that. Right here there's a circlip to remove. You'll need something sharp. And then we can lift this up. Might be stuck a little bit. Got it in the end. Underneath here there's a spring to take off. See if we can get underneath it. Oop. Copper washer. We can lift up this lever now. Spring for that pull. Next pull. Let's lift up the cam and the sprocket. So there's the return spring for the cam. Here you have a bushing on that main shaft part. I'll leave that out for now. And here you have the sprocket. We'll take that off to clean. I've given everything clean with what I had. I've managed to remove most of the debris. I'm going to be using this grease. It's the only thing I've got, although I'd recommend Teflon grease like I usually use on all my other shifters. Grab the cam and put the sprocket back on. You'll see there's a C facing upwards. Underneath the cam you'll have the return spring, so there's one tip that's sticking outwards, and you'll want to put that in this slit that's on the side of the cam, face it through. You'll have this bushing and the shaft that's going to be sitting on the top of that. And the other tip of that spring is going to go in the hole which is on the top left here. So seat that, and the bottom of that shaft part is the square part fits into the bottom plate here. This is important to note. This part here needs to be in a certain position, because eventually when you're going to be putting down this plate, it needs to be exactly in the right placement for both of those pivots to go through the holes of this plate. So if yours is not in the right position, you can simply now adjust it before we start putting other parts down by lifting it up and adjusting it in the right place and then putting it back into the correct way. Grab this pull and put it back onto the pivot, recline back the cam, and then we have the other one that we can now also put back. On top of this is the spring for that pull. Now I have the lever that's going to be placed like this on the top, and then you can grab the spacer, copper one that sits on there. Take the return spring with one tip facing downwards, and that's going to hook right there on this pivot. And the other end you need to put it up to right here behind that hook part of the lever. So you should have, so it should be positioned like this. Now we can take the plate here, and that part that's bent downwards is going downwards. So as pointed out earlier, this should be in the right position to push feet fully down. You have then that small circlip to put back on top of this pivot. Grab the next lever and the spring. Put one tip of that spring inside the hole on the side. Then have the pull, and there will be a circlip on the top holding everything down. That nylon bushing underneath. Right here you have the tip of that spring that we need to bring back behind here. That's done. Click one tooth up on here, so it's like this, and then this pull for the lever, you need to recline it, and we're going to be fitting it right there in that spacing. You then have this bushing that's going to seat inside between the lever. Next, grab the return spring for that top lever, and the part that's facing down is going to go into the hole right there. Then grab the plate and insert that on the right teeth. Like so. And then use a flat object to bring the other tip of the spring towards that hole of the plate and push everything down. Take the nut and screw everything down. Anti-clockwise. Now we can put the seal back on. And for the mechanism, you need to aim for that white part there at the back of the lever, and you need to put it into the hole of the cam. Sun's out. Great, that's working. Let's put the cover back on. Grab the bolt. Alright, let's check that again. Yeah, great. So there you go. Completed. Thank you for listening, and until next time.